2018 National Science Quiz Bowl Championship. For the finals, we have Team Black Hole and Team DeLorean. The themed questions of this final will be magnetism, intellectuals, and alien men. Are you ready? Wonderful. First, we will start off with some toss-up questions. I will say a word or phrase, and you will have to describe it. Every correct answer is worth 10 points. Every incorrect answer is -5. Let's begin. Imaginary lines.
Imaginary lines are used in physics to show the forces surrounding a magnet. Michael Faraday originally called these lines of force. Imaginary lines do not physically exist, and they are used to illustrate effects only. Imaginary lines are the type of line used to map out magnetic fields.
Magnetic field.
Magnetic fields have an attractive force when two unlike poles of it placed near each other. If this happens, then the imaginary lines of this field are combined with each other. When two like poles of this type of field placed near each other, they are repelled.
Bonus question. These directions are where the electromagnetic field starts and ends. If you cut a magnet in half, another copy of these directions will be made. For 10 points, name the two directions that the poles have been named after.
North and south.
Magnetic field.
A magnetic field will be created if you move an electric charge or current through a wire. If a magnetic field is around a wire, it is because of an electric current moving through the wire. It can only be created if either electrons, protons, or ions are in motion.
The right-hand rule.
The right-hand rule is one way to find the direction of current, magnetic field, and magnetic force. It differs when used on magnetic fields with whether or not they use wires. To use the right-hand rule for magnetic fields with wires, you must curl your fingers in a half circle around the wire, then use your thumb and point it in the direction of the conventional current.
What is armature winding?
Armature winding of DC motor is attached to the rotor. It is subjected to all three magnetic fields in the path of its rotation, which directly results in a magnetic loss. Armature winding is named after the material it is made out of because it reduces magnetic losses. It is formed with steel sheets that are stacked together to form a cylindrical structure. Armature winding is responsible for lap winding and wave winding.
What are the brushes?
The brushes of a DC motor are made of carbon or graphite. Their sole purpose is to relay current from external circuits or to rotating commutators from where they connect to the armature windings. It is also often associated with the commutator.
And what is a DC generator?
The DC generator converts mechanical energy into direct current electrical energy. It needs an external source to use the energy it produces. It is often seen as the reverse of a DC motor.
Okay, that ends the toss-up round. Let's start the team round. I will read a question directed to a specific team. If the team answers incorrectly, the opposing team has a shot to answer. No deduction for wrong answers. Each question is 10 points. Team DeLorean. What trait of an electromagnet can be changed by using different types of materials in the core? You can also change this trait by wrapping more or less wire around the core of an electromagnet. Another way to change this trait is to change the amount of current flowing through its coil. For 10 points, name this trait of an electromagnet that will increase when adding more current into its coil component.
Well, what traits could it be?
Well, we know that can't be polarity.
But what happens when you increase current?
The only thing I can think of is that it could be strength.
Well, let's try it.
Okay, strength.
Correct. Team Black Hole. This part of an electromagnet has the purpose of concentrating the magnetic flux in a well-defined and predictable path. Typically, this part of an electromagnet is made from ferromagnetic materials, such as iron and nickel. For 10 points, name this part of an electromagnet that is the magnetic field enters through one end and out the other.
Okay, I got this. It has to be the electromagnetic core.
It's alien.
Core!
Oh, hey, why'd you cut me off? You aren't even going to listen to my input?
You were going to say aliens, right?
Maybe.
Even a child would see that that's idiotic.
Correct. Team DeLorean. This type of force is the work done on a unit of electric charge, or energy gained per unit of electric charge. The common unit for this force is volts. The energy of this force is converted from one form to another in its power source. For 10 points, name this force of an electromagnet with an abbreviation of E or EMF.
Okay, I don't have much of a clue. I have one idea though.
Okay.
Why do I feel like it's wrong?
Because it is. 1.21 gigawatts!
Okay, Team Black Hole, your answer?
Electromotive force.
Correct. Team Black Hole. This piece of equipment is a magnetic frame. It is typically made from cast iron or steel. One of its purposes is to protect some of the sensitive parts inside. It also supports an armature arm in the motor. For 10 points, name this part of DC motor, which supports a field system by housing magnetic poles, other things.
You may have got this one.
Okay.
Aliens.
No clue. You have any ideas?
Nope.
So.
Okay, this is sad. It's yoke. It's just yoke. Team DeLorean. This structure is fitted onto the inner wall of the yoke with screws. It is comprised of two main parts, the core and the shoe. These parts are stacked together under hydraulic pressure and are attached onto the yoke. Its core has a small cross-sectional area and holds the shoe over the yoke. The shoe carries slots for field windings that produces flux. This flux is produced over air gaps between stator and rotor to produce losses due to resistance. For 10 points, name this part of a DC motor.
So it has to be part of a DC motor.
Well, what parts of the DC motor haven't been mentioned yet?
Field winding, armature winding, commutators, poles, and brushes.
How do you remember all that?
I invented a time machine in the 1980s, and you're asking me how I remember 5 parts of a generator? I think it is poles.
Correct. Team Black Hole. This part of a DC motor is made of copper segments stacked on each other and separated by mica. This part relays supply current from another part to the armature winding. The reason for this part is that it prevents the rotation of the armature winding from reversing the torque of the system by reversing the current at that point. For 10 points, name this part which is often associated with the brushes and is responsible for keeping the torque traveling in one direction.
Oh, this one is easy.
I'm not trusting you after the last one.
Look, everyone knows the answer to this. It's commutators. I did a research paper on these in college. They're necessary for DC motor to function. The commutators work with the brushes to transmit current between different parts of the motor.
You sure?
Yes, I am. Aliens.
It was funny the first time around. Now, not so much. Wrong. Team DeLorean, your answer?
Commutators.
Correct. Team DeLorean. This part of the DC motor is made with field coils. It is wound over slots in the pole shoes. Also, this part forms an electromagnet. For 10 points, name this part of a DC motor that produces a field flux within which armature windings rotate.
Field. I don't know.
Physics.
Why did you just say that?
Well, you were saying field.
The answer has something to do with fields. Maybe field windings?
Correct. Okay, now we're going into the bonus round questions. Name these equations. 5 points for each right answer. No points for wrong answers. F equals QE plus QV times V. This equation is used on both electric fields and magnetic fields.
We're in sports law.
Correct. This equation is used to find the magnetic force on a moving charge. It also applies to the right-hand rule.
F equals QE times V.
Correct. F equals IL times V. What is this equation applied to?
Right-hand rule.
Correct. And the winner is Team Black Hole. Thanks for joining us. Good night.